Welcome back. In this demonstration we are going to talk and discuss about the basic skills you will need to start making the hanging portion of your mobile. Number one, you'll have to have all of your pieces cut out and you'll have to have that properly ready. But the skills that you'll need to work with are these. I'm going to show you my stabile sculpture here and you'll notice that we've got our main fulcrum here. We have our pieces here, 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 and here. And you're going to have to learn how to bend the wire to make the loop. You're going to have to learn how to manipulate a jump ring. And you'll have to learn how to make the next connecting loop here on your next bar. Okay, and you'll have to learn how to put the cardboard pieces onto the bars. So, coming back to my workstation here, in the next video I'm going to make these pieces here, but to show you what you'll need to do to accomplish all of that is this. You're going to have your cardboard pieces. I've just got two rough scraps here. Your one bar, this is a very long one, you won't have something this long, and you'll need some jump rings. Okay, and we'll just start with one jump ring here. When you get it in class it will look something like that. Okay, so getting started, you'll have to take your pieces and attach them to the metal. For that you'll be using a hot glue gun like this. In my old school I had a bunch of small ones for student use, but right now I don't. So depending on what happens in the classroom, you might need to do this yourself, or there might be a station set up for you to use the glue gun in turns and share. So first you'll think of how do you want your pieces to slide together. There's the ridges here inside of the cardboard, and the wire will slide nicely into those ridges. Then after it's attached you can kind of manipulate and bend the wire a little bit. The wire is already curved slightly, and I suggest you use that curve to your advantage. Rather than trying to have your stabile like this, gravity will fight against you and pull it back down this way. So you know, think of that as you're making your sculpture. Starting out, you'll just take a blob of glue. Just one squirt should do. Make sure that your hand's out of the way, so if in case you do dribble, it doesn't burn your skin. Then take your bar and slide it into one of the little holes like that. And at the station or at your table, you should have a bone folder to just swipe away any excess glue so you don't have big ugly blobs of glue all over your piece of cardboard. Okay, now that being said, if you lay it back down on the table you can kind of hold it flat so that this bar isn't, you know, twisted the wrong way. Let that dry for a minute or so and then fasten your other one on. My next one is, I'll just put it on, you know, like this. Alright, so that it's following the ridges. You can possibly not follow the ridges. It's a little more difficult and you just have to be careful as you do it, but it is possible. In this video I'm just following the ridges for the sake of ease of the demonstration. Okay, take this, slide it in. Now if you want, you can manipulate it however you want. If you want these to be laying flat or laying twisted or sideways, I'm choosing just to have this piece be, you know, horizontal here, flush with the table, as well as so that when I hold this bar up, they're both equal. You can of course design it however you want and however you've planned on designing it. Okay, once you get your bar completed like this, you need to start thinking about where you're going to be bending it. At that point you're going to have to find the balance point. You can probably just use your finger, probably the easiest way to find the quick balance point. You can just slide your finger back and forth to find where that balance point is. Alright, now I'm just going to move my model and turn my camera over this way so you can see. Alright, now if I hold this bar up here and look for the balance point, you can see I've found the balance point right there. Alright, where it's kind of symmetrically balanced by weight. I'm just going to take a marker and put a little mark right there for where we want that balance point to be. Now, if you want yours to be tilted a different direction, like you want this end to be up higher, you'll have to find that balance point, you know, to where you want it, and then you'll mark it there. You're making a choice of where you want your balance point based on your original design. Okay? For the purpose of this, we'll just make it symmetrically balanced. So coming back to my workstation here, here is that little black portion here. Okay? Now, you're going to have to do this. If you have your bar bent this way, you're going to take this piece, bend it upwards, back down, and around. Making sure all the while that your balance point, wherever that is, stays in the middle and ends up being at the top. Okay, so when we're done, it's going to look like this. And your X, or balance point, will be right there at the top of the loop. Okay, so to get started with that, we're just going to grab right about where that black area is. We're going to bend the right hand side up and then go towards the black piece, bend it up some more, turn, bend it up a little bit more. And then here, you're going to have to be careful so that this piece comes in front or behind, either way, but that you have that arranged nicely and exactly like you would like it. And then you just kind of continue with that. Now this, now I'm switching. This one I was going to just turn all the way around, but my black line, which is right here, is kind of a little too far over. So instead of pulling, you can pull this one all the way out this direction, but I could also switch hands and pull this one up over the top this direction, which is what I'm going to do in order to keep that black line of mine in the middle. Okay, so now I've got that loop here. My black line is right there. It's a little bit off, but it's close enough. And now my wire is kind of bent up. What I'm going to do then is just going to, with my fingers, you can use a tool if you'd like. With my fingers, I'm just going to kind of reshape this metal piece so it's a little more cleanly curved. And likewise, same here. I'm just going to gently reshape that metal piece so it follows that same curve that I had originally. Now, in the room I'll have a pile of these little guys so that you can slide it inside there and check your balance point. So if I turn my camera one more time this direction and hold this bar up, all right, you'll see now that that's balanced right there on that loop. Okay, now with that loop, you'll need to add a jump ring. Okay, so here's our jump ring up here, and you'll need 2 pliers for this. This is where you'll share with your neighbor. And this jump ring, you're going to grab one side of it, grab the other side of it, and then you just twist it one away from the other so that it looks like that. Slide it through that loop and then just twist those wires back like that. Alright, and that will give you your ring to attach your other piece to, like that. Okay, now when we start our second piece, you're going to have to take your next bar here and put a loop on the end of it. So you're actually going to take the wire here and loop the end of it upwards like that. Okay, so if I take this piece of wire here and I loop that up that way, we'll put the balance point somewhere in here once we take the cardboard and attach it to there and find the balance point. Alright, so those are the skills that you'll need to learn. You'll need to learn how to manipulate the jump ring. You'll need how to learn how to twist this loop into your bar and find the right balance point. And you'll need to learn how to twist this loop here into the successive bar that comes after you've made that loop. And then once you've got all those, you just slide them together like that to create the looped pattern like that. Okay, and that's the skills you will need to start creating the bars for your stabile sculpture like this.